Hey guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm here in my man cave, and particularly I'm on the side where my model working bench is, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of a view of what's going on over here. I have my unbuilt models over here mostly, and I have a few collectibles up along the top. And over in this corner, at the very top up there, you'll see I have some really old vintage plastic model cars. AMT, most of them are. In fact, all of those up there are from back in the early 60s. And those are from the era when I started building. And that's kind of what this video is all about. And in particular, I want to focus on one, and I'm going to take that down, and I'm going to talk about it. So hold on to your model making hats, because here we go. I haven't done one of these for a while. Well, the story goes like this. I've already done a video on the first model car that I ever built, 1959 Thunderbird convertible that I received for a Christmas present in 1959 when I was 10 years old. Well, I wasn't quite, let's see, was I 10? Yeah, I would have been 10 years old. I would have turned 11 shortly thereafter. And I have one of those models, not the original one, and I have the box and the directions and decals. But the second model that I ever built came from our local hobby shop, and I assume probably the first one came from there too. And our hobby shop in my hometown of Middleborough, Mass was Steve's Sport Den. And I'm going to insert a picture here so you can see this store. It's no longer open, and in fact, just a week or so ago, the original owner of the store, Steve Stanley, passed away. He was in his 90s. And tell you what kind of a man he was. He sold sporting goods, and as the name of the store said, but he also had a large section of models there, and as things progressed, he had model parts. And one of the things that he really did that helped us out as young guys was he would sponsor model building contests. Well, I'm getting a little ahead of my story. Anyway, after building my first model, I decided I wanted to save up some money and buy one for myself. And I knew that with my birthday coming, I'd be getting some money for my birthday. So I saved some of that money, and I don't know, I scavenged some other stuff, and I was within walking distance. We lived just outside the center of town in those days, just a small town. And I would walk down there and I would look over the models and try to decide what one I wanted. And I decided that I was going to buy a 1940 Ford sedan. Those are probably, they came out in 1960, or 59 or 60, late 59, early 60. And so it was a new model kit at the time. And when they came out, they didn't have prices marked on the boxes. And as I recall, the price that was listed, that he had marked, he had little tags put on there, was $1.19. And so I scavenged the money and with my birthday money, and I went down there and I was going to buy this 1940 Ford sedan. And this is not that one, but it's a complete replica of that one. This is an original from 1959, early 1960. And this is a complete one that I bought. And I want you to notice that on the ends of the box, there is no price marked on them. A later edition of the 40 Ford Coupe that came out sometime later has the price on the end, and you notice it says $1.49. Well, going back to my original story, I went in and I slid this model off the shelf and I took it over to the register and I pulled out my money, and the man looked at me in the face and he said, "It's $1.29. And I'm sure my face must have just dropped, because he could tell. And I said, "Oh, I was just in here last week and it was only $1.19. And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. How much you got?" And I said, I have the $1.19. And he said, "I'll take the $1.19. So he sold me this for $1.19 instead of a new marked up price of $1.29. Made me one happy boy, I'll tell you. And I went home and I built the model right away, and I put the decals on it. Oh no, I didn't paint it. I just glued it together, put the wheels on it so it could roll, because at that age I wanted to play with my models. They weren't just for display. And I spent many hours rolling that thing around on the floor and pretending I was squealing the tires and taking wild turns and just generally enjoying it. That was the kind of man Steve Stanley was. And he was willing to help any way he could. And that's one of my fond memories of building model cars. Yeah, I get into them a little bit more than just slapping them together. But you know, I was watching Fast Jimmy the other day, and he was talking about when he opens up a new model and he looks in there and he sees the model, and the first thing he does is think about what he can do with that. Oh yeah, this model is unbuilt, it's complete. The only thing that I'm missing for this model are the decals, and I guess one of these days I'll have to dig some up. But yeah, I don't know that I'll ever build this one. I have another one, same vintage, that's in pieces, and I have enough parts to build a couple more. But this one I probably won't build, because I like to just take it out and look at it, and it brings back memories, and reminds me of a 40 Ford sedan that one of the young fellows in our town had when I was in high school, that he used to drive around town, had glass backs on it. So it's a neat memory for me. I usually built mine like this one here, of course without the paint, but with the decals on it, no grill, and the Oldsmobile engine with the Hillborn fuel injection on it. Yeah, fond memories. Fond memories. Tester's glue in the tube? Oh, well. Yeah. I still have Tester's tube in the glue in the tube. Look at this. Huh? New old stock, I think. I don't use it much anymore. I get all kinds of other glues that seem to work better, but you know what? I still use it occasionally from time to time, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. So that's one of my model building stories from way back when. Probably back before most of you guys were born. But, I gave up building models for quite a while, and I got back into it again. And then I gave it up again when I got married and started having a family, didn't have the extra money for it. And then probably about 10 or 15 years ago, I got back into building them again. And I'm enjoying it. My hands are getting a little shaky nowadays, and it's harder for me to do the small stuff, and yet I find myself trying to do that real intricate detail even more than I ever did before. So it takes me a while longer, and well, I'm working on my pack rat. And you've seen some videos that I put up of that. It's a Hubley model made out of a Packard Victoria die-cast, custom-built frame, and everything is custom made on it. Nothing is stock. And hopefully, where is it here? Yeah, I've been working on the body, and it's almost ready for paint. A little more sanding, probably another coat of primer. I thought it was ready for my first coat of paint, and I slapped a coat of silver on there, which is going to be my base underneath all of the other stuff I'm putting on, and I saw some flaws, so a little more filling, a little more sanding, and hopefully it won't be too long before I'm putting up a video of the paint job on this, and which will lead to the final assembly. Well, this video is getting kind of long, but thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reminiscent with me. Bye now.